back, and it's time for today's tutorial. And today I created this very kind of bronze smoky eye. We've got a little bit of green in there. We've got, you know, the highlighted glowy skin and the very nude lip, which I'm actually kind of liking. I didn't know if I was gonna like this color, but I do. But I created this look today using my very first Too Faced palette, and that is the Too Faced Natural at Night palette. Now you can't get this palette anymore, but I did do a high-low video comparison of this one and the CoverGirl True Naked, the Goldens palette. That one is more affordable, it's easily available, and it's probably easier to work with than this one. This one is definitely a glitter bomb. I know this palette kind of polarizes people. People either seem to really love it or they hate it. I really love this palette. It is a complete glitter bomb, but if you take a few extra steps, it really does create just some absolutely beautiful New Year's Eve, holiday party, festive appropriate looks. And in fact, we used every single shade in this palette except for Full Moon and Night Fever, but we used all of the other shades in this palette, and all I used was a little bit of priming spray to wet my brush to really get those glitters to work. So I'm really excited to share this look with you. I hope you're excited to see how I created it using the Too Faced Natural at Night palette. And again, if you don't have this palette, just go ahead and get the CoverGirl one. It's the same thing. But yeah, sit tight and I will see you guys after the tutorial. All right, everybody, I've already carved up my brow using my Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlighter, and I primed just using my concealer today. I'm not gonna make you watch that again. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna take a BRC S03 brush and just any kind of buff, vanilla-y type shade. I'm just using this one from Makeup Forever. We're just gonna set the primer and the brow highlighter so we have something to work with here. And guys, I have already done my foundation, but there is a layer of powder. I've got some Coty Airspun down underneath because we will have some fallout with the look, so just a heads up. So just taking a fluffy brush, this one's from Sonia Kashuk, we're gonna go into the palette and we're gonna pick up a little bit of Nightcap, which is this really beautiful warm mid-tone brown. We're gonna make sure we tap off that brush, and then we're gonna start just placing this right in the transition. And this is a shade that builds up beautifully, but we want it very soft at first. Now taking a BR25 brush, we're going to go back into that Nightcap shade and just pick it up on the flat side of the brush. And then what we're going to do is start placing this on the outer half of our lid. Just pat it. And then once we have placed most of the color, what we're going to do is go back in and start working that color into the crease and really kind of focusing on blending it up towards the outer portion of the eye to create this kind of cat-like shape. Now, I'm not using tape today, but what I did do is I put powder all the way up here so that when I wick all that extra powder away, it's going to leave us more of a softer cat line, if that makes sense. And once I've placed that color, I'm just going to go back in with that fluffy brush with no more powder on it, no more product, and just buff it out. All right, now taking my BR250, I'm going to go into the deepest shade in the palette, or deepest matte shade, which is this shade right here called Cocoa Star. Again, I'm just going to lay the brush flat just so I pick up that color on the flat side of the brush. And again, I'm just going to place this right on the outer portion of the eye. We don't want to take it over any farther, and really just deposit that color, deepen it up, and start working it into that outer kind of cat-like shape. And use a lighter hand the higher up you go. And you really don't want to take it over much more than that. And again, we're just going to pick up that fluffy brush, just blend it out. And if we need to later, we can go back in and deepen that up and build it up just a little bit more. Now I'm going to take a flat shader brush. This one is from MASH, and I'm going to pick up two of these Revlon Colorstay cream eyeshadow colors. I just got these, so I'm playing. I'm going to take this one right here, which is called Caramel, on one side of the brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start patting that right in the center of the lid. And then I'm going to take this shade, which is 705 Crème Brule, and I'm just going to flip that brush over, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this lighter shimmery shade, and we're going to put that on the inner portion of the lid. Just like that, even into the inner corner a little bit. So we've got a nice kind of ombre effect going on. Now I'm going going to take just a smaller flat shader brush, again, also from Mash, and we're going to go back into the palette, and we're going to pick up this shade right here called Night Fever. Or, I'm sorry, called Eclipse. And I'm going to pick up that shadow dry with the brush. And then afterwards, I'm going to spray it. Once that product's on my brush, I'm going to spray it with my Photo Finish Primer Water. I just find that this saves the integrity of shadows and just makes them easier to work with. So I'm going to start pouting that on the outer third to half of my lid. And a lot of times after I place that shadow wet, I'll go back in with the brush and just pick it up again dry and just place it over the wet shadow. You are familiar with my tutorials. You've seen me do this a bunch of times. I'm just going to wipe off that same brush because we're just going to use it again. And I'm going to repeat the same step with the shade called After Hours, which is this beautiful like bronzy brown shade. This palette is absolutely a glitter bomb, but if you take the extra steps to make it work, it creates just some beautiful look. So once that color's on the brush, again, we're going to just spray it down with our Photo Finish Primer Water. We're going to start putting this on the middle third of the eye. You see how beautiful that is when it's applied wet. And if it goes up a bit above the crease, that's not that big of a deal. Just pat and wiggle. I'm going to put a dry layer of shadow on top of that just to set it. I'm going to wipe off that brush again. And then we're going to repeat the step one more time, but we're going to do it with Nightlight, which is this very glittery but very beautiful shade right here. And we'll spray that down. And then again, I'm just going to press this on the inner portion of the lid. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up just a small shading brush. This one's from Real Techniques. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of Cocoa Star. And again, we're just going to deepen up this outer portion of the shadow. We're just going to kind of pat it and place the color just to deepen it up. We're just going to work backwards. I'm going to take my BR250 brush and just kind of make sure that that's all blended. I'm going to take my fluffy brush, blend it out, and I want a little bit of a brighter under brow bone shade or highlight. So I'm going to take that BRC S03 again, and we're going to go into the L'Oreal Color Riche single in 200 Paris Beach, which still has a warm undertone, but it's got a little bit more of brightness to it, which I like underneath the brow bone. We're just going to place that right there. And then we're going to blend it down into the deeper shadows. I'm going to come back with that fluffy brush and blend it out again. I'm going to tight line and line my waterline with my Kiss Professional New York Intensify eyeliner in Starry Night. I'm also going to take that pencil just right along the lash line. So you can see it's just very messily under the lower lash line, just a little bit. So now I'm going to take my BRC S01 and we're going to go back into that shade Cocoa Star. And we're going to pick that up, tap off the brush, and we're going to start blending out that liner. You can just connect that up to the outer corner there. Oh, sorry. It'd probably help if I was in focus. Sorry about that, guys. Guys, I've got to say, I'm learning a lot about filming tutorials. As you can probably see, I'm making all the mistakes. And once we have that underneath the lower lash line, we're going to go back into the palette and we're going to pick up a little bit of the green. There's a few just beautiful olivey green shades in here that I want to incorporate this into the look. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this shade called Moonstone. And what we're going to do is just take that right underneath, just a little hint underneath the Cocoa Star. So you can see that there's a lot of fallout underneath the eye and it got a little messy down here, but the best way to clean that up is going with a lighter kind of skin tone shadow. So I'm going to pick up my BRC S06 brush and we're going to go into the shade Spotlight right here. What we're going to do is we're just going to kind of erase and soften up that smoky under lash line. Under eye lash line. I'm trying to talk and do things at the same time. It's not very conducive. Now I'm going to go in with a brand new mascara. This is called the Colossal Big Shot Volume Express, and this is waterproof. So this is what it looks like. I just picked this up at CVS. It's got a really nice brush on it. Oh, can you see that? So far I'm really liking it. And we're just going to apply that to our upper and lower lashes. So it gives a lot of nice volume and length, so you could definitely skip the lashes on this tutorial, but we know I'm not going to do that. Alright guys, I'm going to throw on my Cherry Blossom Wispy lashes and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so the lash glue is still drying, so what I'm going to do is for my inner corner highlight, just to add some brightness, I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Baked Highlighter in Moonlit Pearls, this one right here, and I'm just going to take this on a BRC S09 brush. And I'm just going to pop that right on the inner corner just to brighten up the look a little bit. Alright, and then we're going to zoom out and do the rest of the face. Alright guys, so we've got all that bake still sitting on our face, so I'm just going to take my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish on a fluffy brush and just kind of wick all of that extra powder away. And then we've gotten rid of all of the fallout, and we have got a nice soft kind of cat eye like line without the liner. Alright guys, we're going to change it up today. I know I kind of have been in a rut lately, sorry. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go in with my Sephora Small Contour Brush and the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Contour Palette in the shade Light. And we're going to just start sculpting out our face. Also going to take this just right underneath our chins. Or I'm going to take it underneath my chins, multiple, plural. And I do want just a soft bronzer effect today, so I'm going to go into my Super BB Insta-Ready bronzer by Physicians Formula on my BRC S25. And this is just going to soften up my contour just a little bit. Alright, and since this is a glamorous yet softer look today, I want to go into my, just a little bit of a more neutral blush. So I'm going to go into my NYX HD blush in Soft Spoke, and I'm just using the same brush. I'm just going to concentrate that on my cheeks. Work it back. And before I do my highlight, I'm just going to go into my Ambient Lighting powder palette, just to kind of set everything and pull it all together. Bring that down towards my neck, actually on my neck. And again, that leaves such a beautiful sheen to the face. You really don't need to add a highlighter, but again, we know that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to use my same e.l.f. Baked Highlighter, and I'm just going to go in with an e.l.f. blush brush. And I'm just going to use this dry because it's pretty intense. Focus on the apples of my cheeks and then bring it back. Take it just right above my brow, kind of the peak of my brow. I take it down just the bridge of my nose, tip of my nose, Cupid's bow, just a little bit on the chin. Now comes the big dilemma. Do I do nude lips or do I do berry lips? I don't know. Oh, Peter, what should I do? He's playing with a catnip ball. He doesn't care. Alright guys, I think I'm going to be brave and go really like super nude today. And then if I don't like it, we'll just take it off. But this is from the new Mega Last Liquid Catsuit Matte Lipstick line. And this is called Nudie Patootie. How cute is that? This is going to be one of those colors that I either absolutely hate because it's so nude on me. It's going to be one of those like kind of grayy colors that I really like. This is definitely a nude lipstick, and I'm on the fence about it. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna see. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I think I like this lip color, and it is super nude. Like, it's nude on me, and I'm like ghost status, but we're gonna go with it. All right, everybody, so this is the finished look. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Guys, I am digging this lip. I don't know what it is about these kind of grayy nudes that just get me going, but they do. They just do it for me, and I like them. So anyway, you could do this look with a berry lip, with a red lip, with just a more pinky nude lip. I think this look is very, very versatile in that respect. I almost did a berry lip with it, but I was like, I've been doing a lot of deep vampy lips, so we're gonna do something a little bit more nude today. But I love these types of looks. I love these types of cat eye looks without a wing. You do not have to be the master of winged liner to get that cat eye effect. You can still create something that's very elongated and sexy and sleek and really open up your eyes without winged liner. You just can. It's not, you know, it's not written in stone that you have to have perfect winged liner to create the perfect cat eye look. And I think these types of looks are great examples of that. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. But guys, if you still have this palette hanging around in your collection, I know there's some people out there that still have this palette, you have not decluttered it yet. You know, it might take some extra steps and a little bit more love, but you can just create some absolutely beautiful looks with it. And again, if you do not have this palette, but you want to create a look like this, the CoverGirl Goldens palette is going to be perfect for this. You can do the exact same look. And like I said, it's probably going to take you less steps and be a little bit more, you know, less fallout prone. Be a little bit less fallout prone, let's put it that way. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, then definitely check out my channel tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern for the next one. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and talking about makeup with me. You guys make my day. But until then, I'll see you next time. You guys have an amazing day and have a rocking week. Bye.